This is a very interesting sequence of presentations that we have this evening, because George has started off at the international and national level, and Marty has gone into the technical and operational level with examples from New Jersey, but very much applicable in many situations. And as you saw, especially in relation to the trigeneration and the different sources of fuels that might be used, I think that this has plenty of application in countries around the world. So I'm very glad that the Consul General of Haiti is here, because I want to feed him some ideas of things that might be useful in his country. My own presentation takes things to a much more local level in Haiti, and I'll be referring also to these two stoves that you see over there on the piano, and if people will please come up and take a look after the evening is, the evening's presentations are concluded, so that you can have a close look at what I'm talking about there. The picture is not as bright as I wish in this light. Can we turn off these lights, the overheads? Because my presentation is different from the other people's. Mine is all photos. Is there a way to turn off the overheads?
I mean, it is, but I don't know what it is.
You can see it pretty good.
Yeah, you can see it's a big switch. Can you see easily? Oh, because to me it's hardly visible. But from the audience it's visible? All right, there we go. Thank you. So this is the image of Haiti that we would all like to see. A happy child dancing, enjoying life. This is this is not what we see in the newspapers and on TV all the time. This is the bright future of Haiti. However, there are also problems, and we have to address those problems. This map shows you the island of Hispaniola, with Haiti on the left and the Dominican Republic on the right. The red line down through the middle of the map shows the border, but you can see the difference between the two countries beyond that red line, because on the Haitian side it's much more brown, and on the Dominican side more green. I'm getting a buzz here, is that? Okay. If you look more closely, Haiti is a mountainous country with thin soil and a great problem of deforestation. So you see denuded hillsides all over, which has environmental implications, especially when hurricanes strike. In addition, Haiti has suffered from the earthquake that we've all heard about. This is a street scene in Jacmel, one of the three locations, urban locations that were most severely hit, the others being Port-au-Prince and Léogâne. And this is how most people cook. Very simple. We like to think that a barbecue is fun, you know, a hamburger, a chicken, but this woman is cooking for her family a very simple meal on very simple terms, and using wood or charcoal that has been provided out of the dwindling forest supplies of Haiti, which is now down to 2% of forest cover in the country. In the 1920s, there was a 60% forest cover, and 4 million tons of charcoal are used every year in the country. So it's a serious problem. This is what the charcoal market is all about. This woman makes her living selling charcoal, and it's a desperate life. This is a truckload of charcoal Those bags that you see are about 80 pounds each. They're loaded up with charcoal. This was a scene that I took the photo in Port-au-Prince, but that truckload of charcoal came all the way from Jacmel over the mountains and, 2 or 3, 4 hours away, depending upon which road was used. I was with a colleague who was born in Haiti, lived in Jacmel as a child, and he said that he used to walk through the woods that are now on that truck. But there are other ways of doing things, and this is a field of sugarcane. Sugar has been produced in Haiti since the time of Columbus. And Haiti used to be a major exporter of sugar, not so much now. The productivity is down since 1987 from 3 million tons to 1 million. But the operations continue, and the challenge provides an opportunity as well for a new steps to be made in biomass and biofuel for cooking. You see here a man selling alcohol on the street corner. This is Clarin. We in the U.S. would call it white lightning or moonshine. And it is quickly made and inexpensive. For fuel to go into the stove that I'm about to show you, you need stronger stuff than Clarin, but this is certainly a step in the right direction. This is a enlarged picture of the stove, which has been made for many years by an international company that provides many different kinds of items for off-grid applications. This is originally a boat stove for use on yachts and in leisure camping, and it is an alcohol stove. The important thing about that is that it's very safe, has a hot flame, and does not spill out. The liquid alcohol is poured into a canister. As you see over there on the side, it will fit underneath the stove itself. George is holding up the canister. You pour the liquid in, it adheres to ceramic fiber and does not come out. So then it's become almost like a solid. But it evaporates, and you can light it with a match, and it burns with a very hot flame. I should say that, and this is a point of interest for Paul Caruso, who is always my mentor on small-scale entrepreneurs. And I always like to think of his expression that you can teach someone to fish, and they'll fish for forever. But if you help someone go into business and buy a boat, then they can feed a community. So this is 2 steps beyond give a fish, teach to fish, go into business. And this is a metalworking shop in Port-au-Prince that is all set to be making stoves for the local market. This is the Darbon sugar mill in Léogâne, which is one of our partners in the ethanol cook stove initiative for Haiti. We have a number of partners, and the company for the stoves, the distillation company, the sugar mill, and other partners locally and internationally to make that project happen. The first site for the ethanol stoves will be within a few weeks in Jacmel, in a reputable local institution that is helping needy children and their families. This is the Art Creation Foundation for Children. You see the kids lined up in front of the sign on the gate, and there are about 100 kids associated with that, and of course that means 100 families. The initial number of stoves for use testing will be with several of those families. This is a scene on the beach at Jacmel, where you see a number of food stalls, hot food vendors located on the beach, are another site for the other kind of stove that you see on the piano bench, on the piano top, which is a locally made stove that uses briquettes made of, in this case, coconut husks. So you have a charcoal, but it does not come from trees. There's no deforestation involved. It is, in fact, the kind of thing that George and Marty have been talking about in terms of using and reusing supplies that are able to resolve the environmental and the cost problems that we have encountered. This is a woman who is the face of Haiti at present. You saw the child at first, and now this is a woman who is making her living as a hot food vendor with several pots burning all day long. She makes food for throughout the day. It requires a lot of charcoal. To put other means in her hands will reduce her costs, increase her income, improve her health, and maybe a good thing for her children. So that is the conclusion that we want to come to. Thank you.